The watch list will be a weekly series where I look at players who have performed well over the previous game week who we're considering for our next game week. But as it's game week 1, all we've got is last season's data and those wonderful new summer transfers. So let's get stuck into it. It's the watch list game week number 1. So, to help us build the watch list for game week 1, we're going to use Fantasy Football Hub, my favourite FPL tool, and we're using their Opta Stats section. We're going to be using points per start, and more importantly, it's expected points per start as well, which takes into account XG, XGA and XGC. It gives a good rounded average of players to consider going into game week 1. So, let's start with defenders then. I'm looking at 4 players in total and 1 extra bonus thrown in there for you. I'm looking at 2 from Man City and 2 from Chelsea. Stones and Cancelo only made 22 and 27 appearances. However, their XPTS was over 5 a game, with a great chance for Cancelo especially on the assist part of things, as well as Stones, who got a few cheeky goals as well. Good to consider. How about Chelsea then? Chilwell, Rudiger. Different types of player. Chilwell again, bombing forward with some really decent XG and XA numbers. Rudiger, really solid defender who has some really good baseline of bonuses, which is BPS. So, 4 really good defenders there. And what about a new signing? Well, Ben White comes in at only 4.5 million and is going to be the rock in Arsenal's defence. Arsenal's defence was really underrated last season. And they've got a bit of a tricky start, but I reckon Ben White at 4.5 will find himself into a lot of teams. So next, on to midfielders. I'm not going to talk about the big hitters. We all know the value of Mo Salah, Kevin De Bruyne and Bruno Fernandes. What I'm going to look at is a couple of the other names out there. You've got the likes of Mane. He might run second fiddle to Salah, but he still has an amazing XPTS of 6 points per game. That's in at 12 million, maybe too rich for some people. So we go down further. We've then got the 4 Man City players, all can't be divided, all just over 5 XPTS. You're looking at the likes of Gundogan, Foden, Mahrez, and of course Grealish. Price points from 7.5 up to 9. Your problem is there, are you going to play Pep Roulette? Who's going to start game week 1? Moving down to the budget players, I say budget, you're still looking at 6.5 to 7.5 million, but you've got the likes of Rafinha, who had an amazing season for Leeds last season. You've got Mount, very solid, maybe boring vanilla pick, but his XPTS is again near the 5 mark. And what about Harvey Barnes? Amazing season last year until he had that injury. So really interesting players there. So that's already what we consider. What about new signings? Well, Jadon Sancho as well. You know, he's 9.5 million, quite rich, but then again, he's less than Bruno. Are you going to go Bruno and Bru yes? And you get Sancho in instead. One to keep an eye on. So we move on to the forwards. Top of the list, Harry Kane. With a great XPTS of 6.4. Incredible season last year. Closely followed by Jamie Vardy and Iheanacho. 2 amazing Leicester players with some real value to be had. But who's going to start? Who's going to get the 90 minutes? You've got Daka coming as well, so maybe one to keep an eye on. You might be getting a bit of Rodgers roulette as well as Pep roulette. Further down, you've got the mid-price strikers. You've got Calvert-Lewin, Ollie Watkins and Bamford. Some amazing season they had. 5.5 XPTS, one of the highest we've seen. Can they continue? Will Calvert-Lewin carry on the run with Rafa? What about Watkins? Will he be pushed out to the left now Danny Ings is at Villa? And Bamford, was it a one-season wonder or can he carry on? We move on to the value side of things. You've got the likes of Chris Wood, Adams and Morpie. Again, not maybe the best sexiest pick, but they always get their points, they're talismans for their team, and they will be getting some great points this season. And then the newbies, we've obviously got to consider Tony and Pookie. Will you be joining the Pookie party? Will it be the Tony party? Keep an eye on those newly promoted teams. So, that's it for the watch list game week 1. Hope you enjoyed the stats. Please drop us a like, subscribe, and tick the alert bell to find out when my next video goes live. Good luck for the season. Scarr Sports FPL, signing off.